Hey friends, it's February 23rd, 2025, and it's week 8 of this new year, 2025, and this is this week's Field Notes. And so for those who are new to me, I'm Sam. I am actually documenting my journey of trying to build and catalyze this movement called the Constellation. And what that is just a group of creatives and artists and entrepreneurs and leaders and kind of what we call mavericks that have a hard time kind of fitting in this world because we see things so differently and we operate and move a little bit differently. It's hard for us to try to fit and conform into to this world. And so sometimes we feel like a misfit, but what I'm trying to do is grab some of those folks and say, hey, maybe we're not misfits, maybe we're mavericks. And maybe we actually are not supposed to conform to the world, but actually help transform the world or help to create a better future, or what we like to call it, the beautiful future. And so, so this is just one of those weekly videos that I make where I just kind of recap the week that has been and really kind of share a little bit on what we're trying to do and how we're moving forward. And so this week was a very important week because I made a very big decision the other day, actually yesterday, or as I was reflecting on kind of just this journey of life that I've been, growing up in an immigrant family where change is the only constant. I went to 3 different elementary schools in 3 different countries, 3 different middle schools in 3 different cities, 3 different high schools in 3 different states, all in my freshman year. And then to top it off, I went to 3 different colleges and universities. And so, for me, like that was my upbringing, and chaos and change was a normal for me. And then, as life goes on, things happen, but, beautiful things did also happen. I met my wife. We were able to build a family, have these 2 wonderful and beautiful kids. And so a lot of good things. But in the midst of all of that, my wife had, some surgeries and things like that makes things a little bit difficult for her today. Our normal is not the normal of most people. We like to say our normal gives us really great handicap parking wherever we go. But also, a lot of things that happened in our family where, I lost my dad to COVID in the early days of COVID. And that was pretty hard. But also navigating my most recent journey, my cancer journey of being diagnosed with colorectal cancer, going through the radiation, going through chemotherapy, going through multiple surgeries, and all the recovery that came from that. And so I'm still not at the tail end of that, but I'm living as if I'm cancer free, even though the doctor won't say so. But, as you can see, I'm really healthy, and I'm actually, choosing to live my life moving forward without fear, but with hope, thinking that I'm going to make the best of whatever years I have. And so this is a long, I guess, kind of preamble to what I'm trying to do. And hopefully most of you guys who are watching this video may be newer to kind of my journey and in relationship with me. And so just wanted to give you a quick kind of recap to where I'm moving forward today. And so, yes, I did make a big decision yesterday, and I wanted to look at the rest of my life, and I wanted to make a decision on how I'm going to choose to live the rest of my life, what I call the bonus life, because every single day is a gift for me after cancer. And for me, every day, I'm hoping to approach it as my first day and my last day. Wake up full of wonder and awe and excitement to be given another day, but also go to bed with contentment and satisfaction, knowing that I lived the best life that I could have lived in this day, right? So that's kind of like my mindset. But what I did, again, long story, but get to the point, is the commitment that I made yesterday was that I'm actually someone that actually grew up as what the Koreans call the 개구장이, right? It's kind of a playful, kind of rascally kind of framing, right? I think that's how it translates. And so for me, I really just love life. And I, even though with lots of changes and lots of difficulties, I still was kind of a class clown and was full of energy and full of ideas. I went to film school hoping to make movies, like all of that, right? And for some reason, all the circumstances of my life, even up to the most recent journey, I think I fell into this kind of like victim mindset. Like the circumstances that happened, including, all the, being in ministry and being just trying to scrap by, because when you're a minister or a pastor, you're not making a livable wage to live in Southern California, by the way. But on top of that, all the different things. And so, for me, I was like, hey man, like, like I can only do what I can do with the circumstances, and maybe I fell into this like victim mindset. But a few years back, I heard this incredible kind of shift in thinking where instead of carrying on that victim's mindset, I could actually step into a creator's mindset. And so because of that, and because of kind of just reflecting back on my essence of who I was when I was 9 years old, 12 years old, high school, college, even young adult, like I was like throwing parties and all kinds of stuff. I felt like I lost a little bit of that of myself. And so I made a commitment yesterday, and I said this, is I'm gonna live a life where I'm gonna pursue, live it with joy, with hope, with enthusiasm, with excitement, with a lot of silliness rather than seriousness. And sometimes when we think about creating the beautiful future and think about all these things that we want to change and all the problems that we want to solve, instead of just looking at the challenges, I'm actually looking more towards vision and seizing the opportunities that's in front of us. Obviously, there's lots of things and lots of challenges in this world today that I could like complain about or be angsty about or frustrated about. But sometimes it's actually better to actually envision a future that's different and start working towards it. One of the things that I learned when I was at Saddleback from Pastor Rick Warren, who has catalyzed global movements and have motivated, inspired millions and millions of people, was this. Is this idea of building a stilt, right? So sometimes the world that we are in right now, we're trying to change the world, right? Trying to reform the world. We're trying to change systems and processes. But what if we actually decided to build a better way of living, a better way of working, right? Actually building a stilt, in the places of homes, right, where they're built on stilts because of they're actually built below sea level, right? You don't want to knock out the old stilt to put in the new one. You actually need to put in the new one next to the old one and actually let the new one become the new reality. And so that's kind of the way that I'm thinking and the way that I'm moving. In the scriptures, it's talk about old wineskin, new wineskin. It's not about making the old wineskin better, but it's about creating a new wineskin. And so for me, with the Constellation, with the technology that's available today, and even just kind of the ability to communicate with anyone across the world and to be inspired and to actually collaborate and co-create together, I feel like that's the approach I want to go. And so sorry for the rambling. I know even as I'm assessing in my own brain how I'm communicating, I know it's kind of going all over the place. But guess what? I'm not too worried about being understood. What I'm more concerned about is helping motivate some of us who, literally I'm talking to right now, right? You may feel like you've always had a picture of how things could be better or how things could be different or new things that can be created. But a lot of you guys who have journeyed with me, we've had life and things that make it really difficult. But one of the things I want to remind us is that, hey, maybe the dream and vision is not the thing that's wrong. Maybe it's the timing. And I feel like right now is the timing where a lot of things that we dreamt up could actually become a reality. And so that's kind of the field notes. I literally have like all these bullet points I want to cover, but screw it. I'm just going to ramble and hope that you guys are enjoying this conversation. You get to hear a little bit of my heart. For me, when I make these videos, it's not about sharing like what I know, but I'm hoping to share what I feel and what I'm passionate about. And really, I'm just going to end it here, all right? I know this video is getting a little long, and so I'm going to end it here. I truly believe that in order to create that beautiful future, right? And ask yourself, what is a beautiful future for you? I truly believe, and this is deep down conviction, that the only way that we're going to do that in a healthy way is to actually learn to live and lead the beautiful life today. I feel like that is the formula, because a lot of times we make the change that we seek to make too abstract or too grandiose. But really, are we going to become the people that's going to live the beautiful life, right? And you can define it any way you want and lead the beautiful life, right? With discipline, with focus, with purpose, so that we together could create that beautiful future. And so I invite you to be a part of what we're doing. This is not a membership. This is not like, you don't have to tell me that you're doing it. My hope is that this will just become a catalytic seed that's going to be planted in your soul, where you're reminded of the dream and the vision and the hope and the picture you had of what could be. And maybe it's been dormant, maybe all the changes and the circumstances have buried it, but I'm going to actually invite you to begin to unearth it and and remember that that vision, that dream, that idea is something that now we have all the technology, all the people, and maybe even more of the resources to bring it to life. And so that's what I'm trying to do. Sorry about this ramble, but I am not going to edit this. I'm very proud of what I did. And so hopefully it inspires you. Hopefully we can look back at this video in a year and actually see kind of the fruit of this kind of choice and this decision and this commitment and this actually like documentation of this moment to say that this is how we want to create the beautiful future. All right. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.